So where does that multipolar economic world leave a developing economy? Let's take the nations of sub-Saharan Africa. Let's take some of the countries you mentioned, Southeast Asia. There's plenty of examples around the world. Could this be a benefit? Does it require them to look more regionally and develop much more localized supply chains and trade relationships? How do you think about that for lower income countries that are still trying to get into the middle income and upper income echelons?
Yeah, yeah. So indeed, I would say there are benefits of that to the different regions and the developing economies are the term we use, the global south. So there are benefits for the global south. And if we look at, for instance, Africa, now we look at China's Chinese trade with the Africa in the first half of this year has increased about 20 over 20% in the first half of this year as compared to year before. So while the trade with the US declined, Chinese trade with Africa, Chinese trade with ASEAN, that increased, and the Chinese trade with Latin America, that increased over 7% in the first half of this year as compared to 2024. So the global south is, I think, is in a lot better shape than it was say 20 years ago. If you look at the regions, there are not many conflicts or geopolitical tensions going on in these regions as I think there historically been. So I think by and large, political landscape or situation is more peaceful and I think good for investment. And while United States is disengaging to some extent, I think these countries in the global south, they is a very clear understanding that they need to trade with each other and they need to focus more on development. And I think China has made good ground in that space, and I would say other developing countries or countries from the global south, they have also made more ground in these in the space left by the Western countries or Western powers. So, so therefore, there are also regional institutions and the development banks too. I think in the last few years they've been increasing their footprint. So definitely, those countries I would say are gaining in this situation, and it's not that they are stopping because the United States has decided to slow down or stop.